Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to an eyeshadow palette tag. They're my favorite to do. I am so passionate about eyeshadows and palettes that when I saw my friend Carolina do this one, I'll link her channel down below, I decided to do it as well. As you might have read from the title, we are doing the eyeshadow wardrobe tag, and this was started by two other YouTubers that I will link in the description, but that I don't know personally and I don't follow. So I've seen it from Carolina, and that's the reference I have. I thought it was super fun, and we are going to pair a eyeshadow palette to a specific occasion, and I thought that was super fun. It's not something that I usually do, but I do have palettes that I think of for ceremonies or, I don't know, going out and things like that. So yeah, I thought it was super fun to do. If you're interested of seeing this look, it's in a get ready with me using the bronze palette. That will be up on my channel soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. It's coming. But let's get into this tag. So much fun. First prompt is eyeshadow palette for a wedding. Now, it could be your own wedding or it could be as a wedding guest. For my own wedding, I have a full video recreating exactly my look, but as far as I can remember, and if I think about it, these are actually the eyeshadows that I wore. And we have Old School Makeup Geek here. This is Grandstand, one of the best I find shimmer shades. It is neutral, not too pink, not too gold. I found that I did some trials, of course, because I did my own makeup. Too gold wasn't really looking very natural on me. Some more burgundy shades for the crease and depth. So these are Bitten and Cherry Cola, some of my favorite eyeshadows, and Latte to blend everything out. And this was my look at my wedding. My theme was, or like my color scheme was like a vibrant blue for after my husband's suit, and my bright red. I had a red lipstick. I had a red string going on the back of my corset. It was all like themed around red and blue. So I thought this was the perfect makeup for it. I was super happy, and I think it will be actually lasting the test of time. As a wedding guest though, if I had to go now to a wedding, I would probably pick Soft Glam. And the reason for it is that you can do a lot with this. So depending on what I'm wearing, because that's going to be a theme through the whole video, is that I change my makeup with what I wear. So depending on what I'm wearing, but you can be very neutral, you can go warm, you can go a little bit more pinky with your shimmers. You have the depth needed, you have the lighter shades if you want to do something very natural. I like this. If I had to go to a wedding, probably this is what I would take with me, and this will suit also most people if I had to do someone else's makeup for a wedding. I have to say that if I think about the last wedding I went to, that was the end of last year in September, when I went to my brother-in-law's wedding, and I don't remember what I wore, but I think also the same shades that I actually wore at my own wedding, because I was again in a mint green dress and with red accents with lipstick and eyes. So I think that was that, but now I would pick the Soft Glam. Next up is date night. Now, my last date night was so spontaneous that I was completely undone in just jeans and a t-shirt and no makeup. We just went out for dinner in our village, and it was perfect, spontaneous. It was great. But if I knew I was going on a date night, I would probably pick the Natasha Denona Mini Star palette. And the reason for it is that it has like this sultry duochrome. It has these beautiful, both of these are very impactful shimmers and two very easy mattes that will make the skeleton of any look. I think this is a great little palette for a date night. I don't use it enough because it just gets lost in my small palette section, but I thought this was really, really nice. The next occasion, the next wardrobe change would be girls' night. And now here is where I would go crazy, or as crazy as I would like to. And I haven't had a going out girls' night in a long time, between COVID and my friends having small kids and everything. It's been a while. But the first thing that I think of when I think girls' night is glitter and fancy schmancy things. So I pulled out my palette of special shades. In here I have my Cliondah Cosmetics Glitter Multichromes. And depending again on what I'm wearing, I would use one of these on the lid. They are so sparkly. Let me show you. This is my favorite. It's Corrosion. It's just unbeatable. There's nothing like it. There you go. And then up top here, I have my favorite Tammy Tanuka pigments that I pressed myself. And you can see that they are mainly golds and greens as well. And there's quite a bit of shift in here too. So any of these will do. I love them, and they are very impactful for, a date night, a girls' night, sorry. There we go. I know it's not a pre-made palette, but I would just, go for something sparkly, and matte-wise, I would just go with what fits, to be honest. It's very difficult for me to think of a specific look for a girls' night out, because I wouldn't know also what I'd be wearing depending on the season, depending on how I felt. Slutty or less slutty, things like that. No, I'm joking. But that would be my pick for the girls' night prompt. The next one up is a difficult one. It's vacation. Now, if you followed me for a while, you know that I usually make my own single eyeshadow palette for holidays. I take it with me. This year I went to Italy on a road trip. I took my own pre-made made palette with single eyeshadows. I'll link the video up here if you want to look at that one in specific. But I picked two pre-made palettes to just make it a little bit more, concrete. And they're both Natasha Denona. One is the mini gold, and that is because I always like to wear greens, and this one here has just enough green, and it has this beautiful sparkly gold shade. You can keep it quite neutral with these, or you can go green with these. I find that this is really nice. This works also for like a weekend away. It works for a longer time away, and I've worn it both in summer and in winter, and I've really liked it. So this is definitely something that I would take with me, and possibly the only thing if I was going on a weekend away. Okay, that's not true. If you know me, you know that I can't just leave with one eyeshadow palette, but in principle I could. The other one actually is one of new entries in my collection, which is the bronze palette. And the reason for it is, in summer, like this is a summer palette. This is a warm, bronzed, I don't know, it's a summery palette. It looks really good. You can do really dark smoky eyes. You can do something a little bit more toned down, like what I'm wearing right now, where I used these shades right here, and also something very reddy toned and intense on this side. So this is the palette, the other palette that I would take on vacation. These two would be the ones for me, together with my pre-made by myself. And in those palettes I usually have a bunch of neutrals, a bunch of greens, some more duochrome, multichrome, greeny gold, and just, what I wear usually is just warm neutrals and greens. So that's why those two palettes I think cover it perfectly. Next one, this has been a while, is graduation. Now I had a high school graduation, 2 college university graduations, and then a PhD graduation. So I've had my share of graduations. No idea what I wore in high school. I can't remember at all. If I was wearing makeup at all at that time, probably not. For university, also very little makeup. Wasn't really in my things, but for my PhD, I remember because I was wearing like a woman's suit with a skirt and a black jacket with a white shirt. It was very, very boring and professional. And what I would wear now is probably a little bit more in my colors, and that works better with my complexion than black and white, which suits very, very few people in the world. Only bright winters. Bright winters or absolute winters? Absolute winters. And what I would wear is the Sultry palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. The reason for it is that it is a very sophisticated palette. You don't go overly warm with it, which, I don't know, tends to feel a little bit less sophisticated. And you have your classic champagne transition dark shade done. You can go a little bit more gold, you can go a little bit more pink, you can go a little bit more smoky. I think there's everything here that you need for a ceremony, formal type of thing. Would also be good for work, but I'm not that type of girl for work. But for a ceremony like graduation, yes, that would probably be what I would be wearing. Toned down, but still my thing, enough depth for me to actually look like, correct my eye shape and look decent. So Sultry would be my graduation pick. Then we have Christmas. Christmas for me it depends, because if I'm in the Netherlands, so we alternate a year in the Netherlands, a year in Italy, so that we can spend Christmas with the families, like alternating. We can't usually you would do one day with one family, one day with another, but we can't because my family is in Italy and they don't travel here for Christmas because like the rest of our family is in Italy. So aunts, uncles, grandmas used to be, now they're both passed away. But I kind of dress up more for Christmas in Italy. It's a bit of a bigger, more formal deal. You also wear your best, and I do my makeup a little bit more than if I do it Christmas in the Netherlands. And that's mainly due to the fact that usually I cook. Me and my husband cook for his whole family. And that's this year 9 people for Christmas. So then I'm like super busy and tired. And by the time we get to dinner, it's a lot if I have mascara and a lipstick. So, but if I had like the Christmas look, I would go with Metropolis. And there's a few reasons for it, if I can open it. Metropolis has all of those traditional Christmas tones. The red, the greens, the golds. So you can do really a full-on Christmas spirit type of look with this beautiful red shimmer, or you can go with the classic like forest green matte with the gold. You can do a lot. You can also just do neutral and even more neutral. Like, I think this palette would be my Christmas palette, and I would definitely figure out something that fits my outfit and brings on the Christmas spirit. I mean, look at this beautiful green shimmer. Gonna be gorgeous, right, on Christmas. So this would be my Christmas palette. We'll see what happens this year. We are in the Netherlands for Christmas this year. We would have been anyways due to travel restrictions and COVID, but let's see. This year I think we're sharing cooking with other parts or siblings in the family, so that could also mean that I get to do my makeup or have time to do my makeup. Next up is birthday party. Now, is it my birthday party or someone else's birthday party? I'm not sure, but I would pick the Melt Cosmetics Gemini paired with Smoke Sessions. Now, my Gemini doesn't look like the regular Gemini because I have substituted out the black and the shade Gemini for 2 of the Smoke Sessions shimmers. And that's also why I mentioned both, because this palette here has all of my like staple safe shades, like warm yellow toned neutrals and the greens. I mean, you see me today, right? Like I could have been using this one, same thing. What I didn't like of these was, like, to me the black was a bit useless, and Gemini is not a shade that I love in the palette, whereas Smoke Sessions has you see, these 2 are the ones that I substituted. These dark greens that I like, and you can go a little bit more like forest green compared to just marsh green with the others. So a combination of these two would be my birthday look. My birthday is in less than a month, so I will probably be wearing something like this. Let's see. I'm having a brunch with like 3 friends, keeping it very socially distanced. Very small, but just, yeah, trying to celebrate a little bit in this climate is difficult. We still try in a responsible way. Next prompt or wardrobe change is the office, and I don't even know what that means anymore. I haven't been in the office since March. I have been working 100% from home. I only go to my building for meetings, and even then I don't work there. I go for the meeting in the meeting room and then pack my bags and go work back at home. So I've been wearing a little bit of everything. But when I went to work every single day, I would actually wear anything that I wanted, depending on what I wore, depending if that day I had like one of these Instagram challenges do. I went to work with any and every color of the rainbow at my eyes. Nowadays, because it's not so common, I go a little bit, I tone it down. Like if I want to play with makeup and crazy makeup, I can do so when I'm at home, and when I go to the office, I keep it a little bit more professional. And then I thought also most people don't have the freedom to wear what they want at work. So my suggestion, and a new palette to me that I think is perfect for work, is the Melt Rust palette. This is a neutral palette with a little bit of like a yellow. You can play with this and make a lot of nice looks, and they're gonna be work appropriate, and they're definitely in my comfort zone. So this would also be a palette that if I needed 2 seconds to just do my makeup, I would probably just apply, I don't know, this shade all over, and in the crease, a little bit of deepening and shimmer in the inner corner, or this shade in the inner corner, and go for an all matte look. This would be my office, let's say, palette. Next up is a makeup for errands or an everyday go-to look. Again, not an everyday type of makeup wearer anymore, but yeah, no buts. And at the time when I did wear makeup every day, as I said, I just played with makeup. I actually woke up earlier than I needed to have half an hour to play with my makeup. So I'm not that type of go-to look type of girl. But if I'm in a pinch and I need to put on something and I want to just look decent, I will go with something like Nabla Cinnamon all over the lid, my highlighter in the inner corner, and mascara. That's one look. And the other palette that I would pick is the Natasha Denona Mini Glam. And the reason is that this guy right here has really like everything you need for a very basic and easy look. Like crease, outer V, one of these 2 shimmers on the lid, inner corner, done. You don't have to think, you don't have to choose, you just make a look with this palette. Yeah, what you can choose is one of the shimmers on the lid, but that's about it. These mini palettes are very, very easy for a simple and quick makeup where you don't have to use your brain too much. Like that for that. Definitely an easy everyday. The final palette and the final occasion, of course, is New Year's. And New Year's for me has historically been a like teal, green, gold type of a deal. I don't know, I think it's been 2 years in a row now that I can remember, and I think I documented that I wore similar colors. So the palette I picked was the Natasha Denona Gold, because it has the neutrals, in case this year would be a different case. It has the bright golds, it has the special shades, it has the teal, the toppers, it has the things that I'd like for a New Year's Eve look, especially. I mean, can we talk about that? The shift, and this guy, and this guy, and this, I don't know, I like them all. This is definitely something that would work great for me for New Year's by itself. Then if I'm in a mood and I have time, I would also apply one of my Cliondah cosmetics or my Tammy Tanuka pigments on top to make it even more special, because I find that those in the end are even a little bit more special shades than these Natasha Denona ones. And I guess it comes especially for Tammy Tanuka because they were loose, so you can use fancier pigments rather than just the ones that you can press, if it makes sense, even though I press them anyways. It doesn't matter. That was the end of this tag. I hope you enjoyed it and it was fun. I am tagging Mariam and Meg, my two neighborhood partners in crime here on YouTube, to do this tag. And any one of you who has Instagram or who wants to share on Instagram their answers, or down here in the comments, I tag you all. Just I'd love to see what you would wear for these specific wardrobe occasions. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.